You're watching TVC Breakfast. Insecurity remains Nigeria's biggest challenge at this time, and it appears that the more the country draws towards a resolution of the crisis, the more it eludes it. Finding a lasting solution that ensures the security of Nigerian citizens remains a priority, and this will form major talking points as Nigeria's security chiefs will today meet with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa, Abuja. And the meeting is meant to bring the president up to speed on security developments around the country, while plans to bring a decisive end to the challenges will also be formulated, according to the statement. And the meeting will also highlight the gains of the military in the past few weeks that have seen insurgents and bandits surrendering in droves. That is what we'll be talking about next. Now, security consultant Dennis Amakri joins me now in the studio to help us make sense of all of these. Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Mike.
And it's good to have you back home into the country.
Yes.
Great. Now, I know you've been following this development. First, let me ask, when it comes to security meetings, security chiefs meeting the president, this is not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. No. This is not the 10th or even 20th. Yeah. But Nigerians want to see any tangible improvement in security. Whether you meet with the president or you meet with the United Nations Secretary General, they don't want to. Theirs is that your meeting, let it yield results. Yes. Now, what do you think is going to be different with this meeting that's going to be held later today?
Thank you for having me. Actually, for this particular meeting, I think it's a brief. The security chiefs are supposed to brief the president and tell him of what they've been doing so far. If you remember, there was this big agitation to change the service chiefs. And when the new ones came in, you know, in fact, everybody was like expecting them to create magic immediately. But they've taken their time. They've studied the whole situation. And of course, their strategic plans are working, where at least in the Northeast now, we're having elements of insurgents trying to surrender. But I think what they are doing now is okay in the sense that you don't fight all the wars at the same time because you lose. So doing it in the Northeast, when there is a great measure of success there, then you move to the Northwest and further down like that. So I think they are doing a good job, and I think it's high time they tell the president. And then, of course, ask for more support because to achieve this, you know, comes with a lot of support.
Is a great thing. Now let's put everything on the table. When we have insurgents surrendering in droves, it tells that maybe two things can happen.
Yes. Maybe
they've seen that fighting, they've been overpowered. So instead of waiting to be killed, let us change strategy and give in and survive. Or on the other hand, it could be that, okay, we have a strategy. Let us go in there, become spies, and then, you know, and then do other things. And but Nigerians are generally concerned with that. What do you make of a situation like this?
Yes, it's a big worry because, in fact, right now we are trying to study the surrendering process and how the people are processed. Because when you look at it, some of them can even come in as double agents, or they will come in as undercover agents to surrender, come in, mix with people, and do one or two havocs and go back in. So I think it depends on the military now to really go through the processes. The idea of welcoming them with open hands is okay because they are battle weary. You know, the insurgents are battle weary. They are very tired. They just lost their leader, and they might be looking for a succor because ISWAP is trying to dominate them. You know, and some of them might say, okay, we don't want to be under ISWAP. Let's just go ahead and surrender. But the Nigerian military should be very, very careful in taking them. Isolate them, because you cannot just take them and release them into society. Isolate them and then, of course, interrogate them, because a lot of information will be got from these people who are surrendering. A lot of intelligence, actually, that can be used. But I think processing, you know, proper processing I think we'll do it for now.
With the developments in Afghanistan in the last week has drawn attention of Nigerians to, what is going on there, comparing it to Nigerian situation.
Yes.
Can it happen? Can it not happen? The point there is, what lessons should we learn? What precautions should we take? And so on. When you see what happened in Afghanistan, and you put Nigeria also on the platform to begin to dissect, what comes to your mind?
In Nigeria, so many people have asked for, why don't we ask for help? Why don't we ask for Americans to come and help us?
Or ask for mercenaries.
Or mercenaries, anybody, to come and help us. Yeah. But you see, when you enter into these international agreements, you have to be very, very careful. Number one, the objective of America going into Afghanistan is totally different from what later worked out, because they were under the cover. They actually lied to the American people. The leadership at that time lied to the American people that they are going to discover weapons of mass destruction or even pursue what's his name now? The terrorist guy that blew up.
Osama bin Laden?
Osama has since left the country, but they wanted to go in there. And at that time, many people raised the issue about the oil. Because right now, they are saying that, we cannot spend trillions of dollars in maintaining the military in that country, but they never told us about the trillions and trillions of dollars of oil that was taken out of that country, because America will always operate when their interests are served, So if we come back home here now in Nigeria and we said, okay, let America come, they have to work closely with our military, because right now you can see that the money they even spent on training the Afghanistan military was running into billions. But right now, the Taliban's are coming in there and everybody's running away, So where was the training, and what are the impact that it has caused for the Afghanistan people? So these are things that they can look at. But if we want to go into an agreement like this, we have to really go in with our two eyes open.
Open?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, Nigerians are really concerned and agitated, kind of, because there was a list that came out, a list of countries that are most terrorized in the country, and you have Afghanistan as number 1, and then Nigeria number 2 from that list in there, and Nigerians are like, it creates that kind of a feeling. Yeah. But let's come back home now. When we talk about outright terrorism the way we used to know it like 10 years ago, where we talk about Boko Haram, almost Boko Haram strictly.
Yes.
That has, simmered down a little bit.
Okay.
But we've seen in the Northwest now where we talk about bandits, banditry and all that, kidnapping and so on. Now, is there a metamorphosis from that? Because some people have said that it is the same people working together, but just in a different terrain and then taking a different nomenclature.
Yes, I think it's the same kind of people.
Okay.
The
same kind of people.
Right. Because actually some bandits have been arrested, and during interrogation, they have also mentioned that they used to fight for Boko Haram. So there is a migration there, where they are now in the Northwest. But the major issue there is that Nigeria is totally terrorized. When you say bandits, terrorists, Boko Haram, they are all the same thing. The terrorism is the act.
Is the act, exactly.
Is the act. And bandits are also terrorizing people, kidnapping people. Kidnap itself is an act of terrorism. So the Nigerian society or the civilian population is extremely terrorized, cutting across from the north all the way down to the south, because people cannot really wake up today and say, okay, it's 10 o'clock now, let's go to Ibadan. You can't do that. And
without having security concerns.
Yeah, you're worried because you don't feel that the road might be very, very clear. So these are the worries that we get. but we have to systematically deal with it, because those bandits themselves are ragtag soldiers, ragtag army, that thieves actually, that are running around, you know, taking hostages and everything. But I think I want to believe that the military, if they follow it systematically, should be able to get over this, because it's taking so long, really.
Talk to us about the issue of collaboration with civil, because we have always, even you have said that this fight cannot just be military and weapons alone.
Yes.
There can be other strategies to be used where you engage with civilians, they provide, because all of this is based on intelligence.
Yes.
Now, the military is doing a lot of work in there for Boko Haram to simmer down, and we don't hear the kind of attack they used to get, although they still, you know, here and there, just pockets here and there.
Yes.
It tells us there's a whole lot of work going on there. But when it comes to, you know, collaborating and partnering with civilians to engage, get information, and all of that, how much of it should the military continue to do, and how much of that should be improved on?
I think that is what even the military people are calling the non-kinetic approach.
Okay.
And then, of course, in security, we can also call it all-society approach, whereby you involve everybody.
Right.
You know, it is not just the military fighting, but everybody is involved, because it affects everybody. And if it's affecting everybody, the best thing for civilians to do, short of a full-blown war, because if it's a full-blown war, you don't have any other choice than to participate. You know, but for now, people are still going to work and coming back and stuff like that, but they should be able to report, you know, give the fighting forces intelligence, and then, of course, help them, because you see, these insurgents or bandits, they eat, they travel. There are logistics that run around there. And then, of course, during this logistic, because they cannot starve, and during these food procurement processes, you can actually get links to them and then find out what they are doing. So, of course, I know the security agencies know what they are doing, and of course, in the areas of penetrating the camps, and then, of course, getting the vital intelligence to successfully do what they are doing right now. I think a lot of intelligence work is going on, but I will say that the civilian population should, you know, provide more information and get more involved in what is going on.
All right. Nigerians had the way they talk about the Super Tucanos that we were expecting. 6 of them we hear are already in the country.
Yes.
And there was this feeling, as the moment the Super Tucanos are available, that is the magic wand. That is the magic wand to every security challenge in Nigeria, because the Super Tucanos can do a lot of things. You know, they're like drones, they're like, you know, they do all of this, you know, like just like magic.
Yeah. It's just the same magic. We're thinking the new service chiefs are going to, you know, use their wand, and then
exactly, and then we just forget all things are passed away, and then new things, everything becomes new.
It does not work that way. So it will take some time. I think, you know, 6 months or a year, I think, before they brought the Super Tucanos, there were Nigerian Air Force pilots that were in the United States and were practicing on this very aircraft, and they are now here, and they will also get used to the terrain, and then, of course, go for sorties on what they want to do, or, you know, particular targets they want to compromise. But so these are the things that they will do, and yes, they will do a lot for the security, because that Super Tucanos are fighter, you know, they are designed for this kind of insurgent wars. So they will do a lot for us, but I don't think Nigeria should think that it's going to happen
overnight,
this month or next month. Yes.
All right. But anyway, the military, Nigerians are happy that the military is doing everything they can based on whatever thing they have at their disposal right now. But they just want more of what's going on. We thank you very much, Dennis Amakri, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Right.